going to be doing the answers for our study guide for science. You should have already completed this on your own. I should see pencil markings everywhere here of what you answered. And right now you need to have your red pen out to correct it to see how you did. If you didn't do this yet on your own, you need to stop this video, go do it on your own, and then come back to correct it with your red pen. While you're correcting, just like in class, I should see those stars or those happy faces if you got it right. If you got it wrong, I should see the correct answer in the red pen. And then you're going to study this tonight because tomorrow you will have a science test. So study all the correct answers to make sure you're ready for tomorrow's test. Okay, let's see how we did. Number 1, what are the 4 resources a living thing gets from its habitat? A living thing needs its habitat for 4 main things. What are they? It needs air. It needs food. It needs water. And it needs shelter. Okay? All right, then you needed to match the habitats to a description. So I'm going to read the description and then put which habitat it belongs under. Very cold, flat, frozen soil, and very little rain. Well, the clue here was frozen soil. I know we must be talking about the tundra. So we're going to put A there. That matches the tundra. Lots of rain with many trees, plants, and animals. Okay, lots of rain. I'm looking at my choices. That is probably the forest. Forest gets lots of rain, especially a rainforest. But it doesn't have to be a rainforest. All forests get lots of rain. So I'm going to put B for forest. Okay, lots of grasses and bushes, but not many trees. So I'm looking at my choices, many grasses and bushes. That would be in the grassland. So I'm going to put C here for grassland. A large body of salt water. Okay, we talked about that. The ocean is salt water. Rivers and streams are fresh water. It doesn't have salt in it. Only the ocean has the salt water in there. So we're going to put D here next to ocean. Okay, fresh water that flows. Okay, if it's flowing, then that means it's a river or a stream. Lakes don't flow, but rivers and streams do. So E goes over here for river, and it's fresh water. Okay, dry can be hot or cold and very little rain. So big clue here is that it's very dry, not a lot of rain. That would be the desert. It can be hot or cold in a desert. We often think of it as just being hot, but deserts also can get extremely cold. Okay, and it has both land and water, and the soil is usually wet. That would be a wetland. We're talking about marshes here, and marshes or swamps. Okay, all right. Moving on, what is the difference between a marsh and a swamp? Those are both wetlands. What's the difference between them? It said in your book, marshes have plants that are like grasses, and swamps have plants that are like trees. So I'm going to put that in a sentence. A marsh has plants that are like grasses. A swamp has plants that are like trees. Okay, they are both wetlands though. They just have different kinds of plants there. What is the difference between a river and an ocean? Okay, we talked about it up here. Rivers are freshwater. Oceans are saltwater. That's the big difference. So rivers have fresh water. Oceans have salt water. Okay, and oceans are also very large, much bigger than a river. Okay, and what is the difference between a river and a stream? Okay, here, rivers and streams, those are both fresh waters. So the big difference here is a river is going to be larger than a stream. Rivers and streams both also have flowing water that moves, it goes down the land, okay, across the land. So that's where they're similar. They're both freshwater, they're both flowing, but a river is larger than a stream. So that's what I'm going to write here. A river is larger than a stream. Okay, the difference here is the size. Okay, on your next page, what does diversity mean in a habitat? We had been talking about that. Diversity is how many different plants and animals live in a space. Okay, so let's write that down. Diversity means how many plants and animals live in a place. Okay, so a place can have lots of diversity, which means it has lots of different plants and animals, or it can have very little diversity, which means it does not have a lot of different kinds of plants and animals. Okay, so we now need to put the habitats in the correct column of the chart below. We have a forest, a desert, tundra, and an ocean. We have to say which ones have a lot of diversity, which ones have little diversity. So a forest, it gets lots of rain, has a lot of trees, it said, lots of animals. I'm definitely going to put this one in lots of diversity. You can find all kinds of plants and animals in a forest. The desert does have plants and animals, but not as many as you would find in the forest. It's too hot in the desert and dry for many plants and animals to survive, so it has little diversity. Okay, the tundra. Oh, the tundra is so cold. Not a lot of plants live in the tundra with all that snow, frozen soil. There are some, but not very many. There are some animals, but not very many. It has little diversity. It's very difficult to survive in that cold, frozen area. Okay, the ocean. Oh my goodness, so many kinds of plants and animals live in the ocean. So many that they haven't even discovered all of them yet. So ocean is definitely lots of diversity. And number 8, why do some habitats have little diversity? Think about this desert and the tundra. Why can't they have a lot of plants and animals? Well, because there isn't a lot of the things that they need to survive. There's not a lot of water there. the temperatures there can be very hot or very cold. So that's going to be why I'm going to write some habitats have little diversity because there is not a lot of rain, or you could put water, either one, rain or water. I mean, we're reading about the same thing. And the temperature is very hot or cold. Okay, it could be difficult to survive there because of those reasons. All right, go ahead, make sure you have all your correct answers here. Practice and study. If there's any that you missed, just keep quizzing yourself so that way you're ready for the test tomorrow, because the questions will be very similar to what you studied today. All right, good luck tomorrow.